Insurance isn't one size fits all. That's why drivers have enjoyed Progressive's Name Your Price tool for years now. With the Name Your Price tool, you tell them what you want to pay, and they'll show you options that fit your budget. So whether you're picking out your first policy or just looking for something that works better for you and your family, they make it easy to see your options. Visit Progressive.com. Find a rate that works for you with the Name Your Price tool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Your coffee would never get cold. Your flight would always be on time. And your mattress would always respond to you and your unique sleep needs. Sleep Number mattresses are designed to respond to your body and shift with your changing life, helping you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number. To a good night's sleep.
Only Carl would bring gear he absolutely hates on a trip to Yosemite. But can any of this gear win over the master grader of graders?
We're about to find out. Welcome to the Backpacking Blisters podcast. We are tips and tales with a sense of humor. This episode is brought to you by Enlightened Equipment. I continue to bring the Revelation quilt to places like Yosemite, and I love it. Check out their ultralight gear at enlightenedequipment.com. With me today is a man whose country mascot is a threatening leaf. Jesse Manti, how's it going?
I'm doing well. And with me today is a man who hates Canada's ketchup chips, Carl Mandrioli.
I do hate them. I think it's ridiculous you have ketchup chips.
Yeah, well, we're talking about a lot of different things that you hate,
That's
Carl.
fair.
So I figured it was appropriate to bring up your least favorite Canadian snack.
It is up there for sure. And there's some good Canadian snacks too, but not ketchup chips for sure. So, all right, man. Back from Yosemite. You didn't make this trip. I was hoping you were.
Oh,
we're going to make
too.
it, but it didn't happen.
No, it didn't happen. But you did say it was a good thing that I didn't bring my wife for her first ever backpacking trip on this trip. So anything weird happened?
Yeah, I definitely think it's. We'll get into like one of those things today. We had a good prank, which I'll hit up. I'll tell you about later. But for the most part, like it was a good trip. It was just a hard trip. I don't know if this is like a great first trip, and just like a lot of elevation gain. We did hit Half Dome. We did bring our summit flags. I don't know. I guess one of the highlights was like on Half Dome, we had my daughter, age 17. And then we had Christine, who's been on our show before, age 73. So 17 to 73, pretty cool to have on top of Half Dome, for sure.
That is pretty cool. And I can see that summit flag right behind you. Summit something.
We'll get into more of the stories. Might do a different episode because there's definitely some weird stuff that always happens. And I'll share one of those things, like I said, later on. So, and then in addition to that, like not just gear that I like supposedly hate, I've got like a game-changing sleeping pad review. A sleeping pad that I brought on the trip as well. So we'll get to that too. So
Bible verse of the episode, Proverbs 10:12. Hatred stirs up strife, but love covers all offenses. So Carl, is this episode going to stir up some strife, or is your love for the gear going to put away all those offenses?
I mean, probably a little bit of both, if we're being honest. Like, it's not going to be any fun if, like, I hate the gear, I bring it, and then I continue to hate the gear. There's got to be something in the list that might change my mind, right? That's hopefully going to happen. We're going to talk about it. But, Jess, give me one piece of gear that you hate and would never bring in a backpacking trip. So let's focus on you. Like, what are we talking about for you?
Oh, yeah. I hate the Cat and 9B free. I think we've talked about this recently. I
I had that on my list. If you didn't say that, I was going to bring that up.
I'm okay. There's a YouTube video I have queued where this lady has done supposedly a test of 2 water filters till they fail, and one of them's the Bee Free. And I'm like, oh, I want to watch that. I want to watch that because I bet you it's the Bee Free, but I haven't watched it yet. So maybe she'll be able to convince me to change my mind. But yeah, I hate that.
No, it's probably the Bee Free. I'm okay for it to be like a single season use kind of thing.
That's garbage. That is what kind. Like, oh, I have a single use backpack. I have a single use sleeping bag. I have a single use backpacking t-shirt. That is so. I'm
Single
so
season use, not single use.
Yes, single season use is just ridiculous.
I don't think so. I'm not replacing the whole system, just the filter part, that little piece right there.
No. Sorry. That's the whole point of that piece of gear. That is the entire system. Otherwise, it's just a water bottle.
The bag. I get the bag.
Yeah, you're replacing the filter. It's a filtration system.
When I filtered out of the B3 on the Yosemite trip, I just like let it gush over my face and just enjoyed it, thinking of you the whole time.
Yeah, it was the first hike of the season, wasn't it? Fresh
and not getting jarred. Yeah. Anyway, all right. Well, that's funny you mentioned that. I'm sure that's going to come up again because that is my favorite filter for sure. So, all right. So let's see here. Let's see how many things I put on the list. I got like 6-ish, I want to say. Yep. 6 pieces of gear. Okay. All right. So we're going to go through this. I'm going to share the piece of gear that I've talked about hating. I brought different things that I've brought up before, but like didn't actually bring on a backpacking trip. And then how are you going to respond? What do you tell us about?
I'm going to make a prediction. You're going to share what it is. I'm going to predict whether it was able to change your mind or not, and also give like my initial thoughts. Like, would I ever bring this? How do I feel about it? I might be like, love it, neutral, or hate it. Okay. Because there's some things I don't know. I might be neutral too, but and then you'll share about it.
Yeah, for sure. So we'll do it that way. So I want to hear your opinion. And then we'll go through it. So one of the hottest things in the market right now are just like the innovations in the water bottle category. Yeah. So yes. I always brought a smart water bottle. And so I was like, okay, should I spend half a fortune on one of these other reusable bottles? So I chose the Nobo bottle. Mm-hmm. And so it weighs 2 to 3 ounces, which is double a smart water bottle, but not egregious, not like a Nalgene. Features, it's got a leash for the caps. You're not going to lose a cap. It's got the like on the outside, it's got like the ounces. So you can kind of like figure out how much you're pouring into the pot, that kind of thing, which is pretty handy. So yeah, what do you think on the Nobo bottle?
I am really intrigued to hear that you like. So did you start this? Like, did you start out hating this? Like you say, it's gear you hate. So like right. you must have hated this before this trip. Why did you hate it?
Okay, the number one reason is going to be the cost. So the smart water bottles cost like $1 or $2. And then if you go on to, Igneous Gear, and you just buy the bottle, just the bottle. Yeah. So the bottle itself is like in the low 20s, which already is expensive for me. Like that's more than an Nalgene, which feels like a lot more substantial. But in addition to that, then if you're only buying the one thing, you got to pay shipping on it and then the tax on it. So I think out the door was $35 for a water bottle.
I was going to say, yeah, and I was blowing that you said it was $20 because we looked at, I actually had this on, it was between this and the Migo for my birthday, and it was almost $80, including shipping, to get it to Canada, now in Canadian, and I was just like, that's insane, but I'm really intrigued. So, like, I think, here's my bet, I first of all, I'm really intrigued by this water bottle. I would bring this. Okay. I think that this water bottle was able to persuade you. I think you're coming out of this trip warmed up to the water bottle idea, even if it's expensive.
Okay, that's a good prediction. The answer is like sort of, because here's the thing is that now that I own the water bottle, now that I stinking paid for it, it's going to come on like future trips until it wears out, like 100%, because it's actually handy to have. It doesn't weigh that much more than a smart water bottle. It does the job. I do like the pack leash, so I don't have to worry about losing the cap. That's pretty cool. But would I buy it again is the question. I don't think I'd spend the $35 to buy it again. So I'll bring it again, but I don't think I would I'm not going to buy another one. Or like when my daughter goes again, I'm be like, now it's your turn to have Nova bottle. Like you get to have a $35 bottle, or my wife. Like it's just not going to happen.
But I guess here's a good question. You don't care too much about the like forever chemicals and the plastics. Like for somebody who really cares about that, getting something that they can use repeatedly over and over and over again that doesn't have those, it might be worth those $35 or the $80 in Canada. I
do care about them. I just think that you're not avoiding them. I think it's just in everything now. So that's my theory. Yeah, but I'm with you. Now, let's just take into account that it sounds like you're at least somewhat budget conscious, to say the least.
Yes.
I am as well. Not everybody out there is. Like, not everybody's a teacher or a pastor out there. So if you're like a lawyer or engineer or whatever other like really high level salary thing on the game board of life, like you can
just buy it.
Not a big deal.
Yeah, just buy it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Yeah, it was too much to even ask for as well. I shouldn't say that. It wasn't too much. I asked for it as a Christmas present, but everyone around me felt like it was too much.
Wait, did you ask for the Migo or the Nobo?
I asked for the Nobo. The Nobo was I asked for kind of either or. I put both on my list and was curious to see who. And the Migo or the Nobo was sold out, and I think the Mibo of the color that I wanted, Migo of the color I wanted, was sold out. So it was just poor timing.
Next time you go backpacking, you can just have mine. How about that? I'm just gonna give it to you.
Deal. It's like that's like $80 worth.
We just gotta, we gotta connect on a trip. So
it's a bribe. I see. It's a bribe. Yeah.
Kind of.
Next time I come down, we go backpacking.
We got to go together so that I can bring it. I'm not going to pay tariffs on it. So, our next one, I've been making fun of this for a couple of years now, and this is the sit pad. All right, so I brought the Gossamer Gear sit pad, which just weighs 1.7 ounces. It only costs $6. I didn't figure in the shipping there. Yeah, it's pretty lightweight. Now, people are using this when they want to sit down, but they don't want to like commit to sitting down for a long time on the trail. They don't want to sit on a rock or a log, or maybe it's been raining, so they don't want to get their butt wet. This is the main uses for the sit pad. What's your take on the sit pad in general?
I was going to say, so I want to clarify, are you saying you hit the Gossamer Gear sit pad specifically, or you're just opposed to sit pads?
Yeah, sit pads in general.
Yeah, see, I've not been traditionally a backpacking chair user. So I am traditionally a sit pad user. And I use my sit pad. When we went backpacking here in the Canadian Rockies, you guys were all lounging on your comfy chairs. And I just had my cheap Chinese-made sit pad, and that was my chair.
Okay.
And I was jealous of all of your big, comfy lazy bears. Yeah, or lazy boys reclining. It looked like recliners. It looks like I'm like sitting on the on the floor compared to all these like old men in their recliners leaning back telling stories around the campfire. And that's really what it was like, actually. It was pretty accurate description, I would say. Wouldn't you agree?
Pretty accurate, yeah, for sure.
I think so. Knowing that about you, I think you obviously still hate this gear. You can't go from those comfy chairs to a sit pad and be like, this is great. I would definitely switch.
But I'm using it for the time on the trail. I'm not using it in camp. I was using it for what people typically use it for.
Like sitting on it. That's what people typically
during, like taking a quick break on the trail, like when I wouldn't get my chair.
Oh,
I tried to replicate the situation.
That's not
people use.
That's not even okay. I use my sit pad. Like it's my sit pad. It is most often my chair.
Right.
The closest thing that I have to a chair or not sitting on hard rock. So yeah, anyways, I'm going to say, I can't imagine you saying you'd like it. No. So I'm going to say that I don't think you like it. I like it. I do bring one, but I think you're never going to bring it again.
Okay. So I pulled it out a few miles in. We had a long climb and I sat on a rock and it felt like a rock. So I was like, you know what I should do is I should pull out the sit pad because this is a great time. We're waiting for people to show up. So I pulled out the sit pad. And it felt like I was sitting on a rock still. Like it literally did nothing. It literally did nothing. I get the moisture barrier thing. I get that it doesn't weigh a whole lot. It is a little bulky though, let's be honest. Like It took up some space, and I was trying to put it in the same like side pocket as my chair because I did bring a chair for this trip, and it like kept on falling out. So it was kind of annoying. It's not super expensive, so if you're like on a wet trip, I guess it's better than nothing, but barely. So definitely not something I'm gonna bring again.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that makes sense. I think for the purposes that you're using it for, and I agree, like I've used it before on a stump, and it doesn't feel like it's not like, oh, now this stump is so much more comfortable.
I don't understand.
But where it is like shale. Like if you're sitting on shale, on like sharp rocks by themselves on the side of a mountain versus a little bit of like a 1/4 inch of foam, and then some sharp rocks, feels way better, trust me.
So you should have sharp rocks. Or if somebody dropped like a bunch of knives down there, it's like better to sit on the pad than knives. Of course.
Whenever I have to lay on a bed of nails, Carl, I love having my sit pad handy, okay?
I'm going to go so far as to say that like in 5 years, hardly anybody's going to have a sit pad. People are going to be like, yeah, that was kind of dumb. That's my theory.
Yeah, you're probably right. You know what? Yeah. Even inflatable. I've started seeing some inflatable sit pads. I just can't. Like, to me, that it's so convenient. And I'd hate the idea of having to take my sit pad out, inflate it, and then sit on it, then de-inflate it, then pack it away. Because like you said, I use it at camp. I use it when I'm setting up my tent. I use it if I'm kneeling down to do... Like, I do use it a fair amount, but anyways. Yeah.
Okay. All right, well, there you go. That's the sit pad. Next one is the Gossamer Gear Bumpster. Wait, 2 Gossamer Gears in a row, you might ask? Yeah, they actually gave me the sit pad with this, like, they gave me both things I hate. When I went to this media show, I was like, sure, I'll try this out. So this only weighs a little over 3 ounces. It's $29. I did get it for free, just like the sit pad, full disclosure. I did bring it on the trip. I think the fanny pack trend is actually already starting to die just from what I'm seeing with people on the trail.
Yeah, I think it's dead.
I still was willing to try it out. And what do you think?
Yeah, I do. I agree. I think the fanny pack trend is dead and done. Funny story about fanny packs. I brought my first fanny pack and had an editor. My editor back in the day was in Australia. He's a Canadian, but he's in Australia, and he's married to an Australian. They have little kids there. And fanny is apparently like a really, really, really bad word in Australia.
Oh.
Like it is a very, very naughty word.
What do they say for fanny pack then?
Yeah, they call it like a bum pack or
okay.
Yeah, I think.
Australians, I apologize. I was not trying to curse with.
You are cursing repeated. Yeah, so much so that his wife had to leave the room. She's like, I can't stay here listening to Jesse talk about the fanny pack because it was so offensive to her. And every time I would say it, he'd hear me in the editing. He would like take it. She would have to take her kids and like move them into the other room because it's such a bad word. So, anyways, hilarious cultural difference.
No, I don't want to. Yeah, we don't want to bother people with the name of this.
Yeah, bum packs, fanny packs. Yeah, I think I've used them before. I totally understand the use case. Actually, I don't. Any backpack that doesn't have hip strap, like hip pocket belt,
hip belt pockets.
Yeah, there you go. That's the only time I could understand it, and almost all of them do. Any good pack that's worth its weight does. So I'm going to say you still hate it. Actually,
a lot of packs, well, if you look at like Zpacks, they do if you spend an extra $100 a piece on them, but they don't come with them. So... Yeah, so I did try it. I put some snacks in there. It's not like a massive fanny pack. You can't really hold a ton of stuff. Like, whether you like having those snacks handy or not, because it sits right where your belt clip is with the pack, it's just like constantly in the way and just constantly getting tangled with that stuff. Yeah, and again, I did have the hip belt pocket, so I'm definitely out on the fanny pack. I think it's silly. I think other people are starting to realize it's kind of silly.
Yeah, I agree. I can totally understand, and I think I stay in the same position that I have, which is I just wouldn't use it. I remember using it, and I just had more stuff from my backpack that's normally in my backpack, in my fanny pack. And I'm like, sure, it's easier access, but so is taking off. Like, if I need my first aid kit, I'm going to take off my backpack anyways.
I think the new trend, and I don't know why it took so stinking long for this to happen, because some packs figured this out years ago, is they're taking the little stretchy mesh pockets from like the running vests and putting those on backpacking packs. Like Mystery Ranch, when that was still a company, did that years ago. And I was like, why haven't other companies done this? And now a lot of them are starting to do this. And so I think you're going to see people moving more towards that because that little meshy, stretchy thing doesn't weigh anything. And it's just like you just shove stuff in there, your phone, or whatever else, snacks, yeah.
And even on hip belts, my wife's day pack, it has stretchy mesh pockets. One of them is like a zippered pocket. The other one's a stretchy mesh pocket, and she puts her snacks in there.
Right.
Yep.
Okay,
what's next?
All right, next one, everybody's favorite, the spoon sleeve.
Yes.
Okay, so when I went to like find out about the price on this, I clicked on Garage Grown Gear, and it was actually featured on the main page of Garage Grown Gear. So this must be a popular thing, or at least they're trying to make it popular. It basically is like a little cinched down Dyneema like covering for your spoon. It prevents your spoon like from getting gunked up inside your pack or from it gunking other things up. And then, of course, the most common thing is if you drop your spoon in the dirt and you have the spoon sleeve on, it's going to prevent it from getting like dirty. I think it costs $5 for this little itty bitty thing. So what do you think on the spoon sleeve?
This is space age technology, Carl. Okay, this is like solving first world problems to the maximum. Like, I mean, it's already kind of hilarious that like as a hobby we like to become homeless for a weekend,
right?
But we want to make sure we keep our spoons clean. Right. Yeah, I think this is a quirky, silly little piece of gear, and I can't imagine a world in which Carl would ever justify this thing. The man who hates buffs justifying a spoon sleeve.
It's hard to justify buying it, but again, now that I own one, I did drop my spoon a couple times with the spoon sleeve on, and it did. And I think I dropped mine like right before somebody else dropped theirs into the dirt. And I was like, hey, I'm in a better situation here.
No way. It actually swayed you.
Okay, I wouldn't buy it again. And this is something that you will lose immediately. In fact, there's a really good chance I'm going to lose this between now and my next trip. Like, it won't even make it. But assuming I don't lose it, I'm going to keep bringing it because it doesn't weigh anything. I'm going to keep bringing it until I lose it. And I'll probably lose it on a trip, if I'm being realistic. And then somebody else will buy it, or somebody else will find it, and then they can use it. So it's a super silly thing, but now that I got it, might as well use it.
how many people lose their spoons in their backpack? Okay,
Inside their pack, a lot of
exactly.
people.
That is exactly what I'm saying. So how many people are going to lose this little thing inside their pack on day one of a 3-day trip?
Like you can cinch it down so it's not going to fall off if you do it right. But it's more just like when you set it aside to eat, you forget to put it back on. The wind can literally blow it away. So, yeah.
You know what's just as easy? Like literally, like not a Ziploc bag, but like one of those sandwich bags, the foldable bags, and an elastic band. like literally, it's funny because you say like, you're like, now that you have it, you'll always use it. So I'm going to push back on you. You say now that you have it, you're going to use it.
Right.
So when you lose it, will you now use a sandwich bag, an elastic band to keep your spoon clean?
That's more annoying.
Exactly.
Inventor Jesse here, he's a little on his high horse. He had talking to Durston, he convinced Durston to make the chair that digs your cat hole for you. So now he's like, you know what? I got some other ideas I want to throw around here.
It's the Jesse Manti bag spoon cover.
Yeah. Save that one for Durston or whoever else we have on again. So
there we go. So I don't think you actually agree with yourself. I don't think you'd go out of your way to even find a way to cover your spoon after
just
even that experience. It's just because you have it.
So I can't say that I hate it anymore, but if I'm willing to bring it again. So it kind of won me over now that I have it, just like the Nobo bottle, I guess.
So you're neutral. So you're not going to make fun of people who have it anymore. Is that fair?
I think after right now, people that buy it, I'll still make fun of them. In fact, I'm going to ask Lloyd. I'm hoping to have Lloyd on the show at some point soon. I'll ask him about it. Like, why is that on the first front page of your
You
website?
know what we should get? We should get Backpacking and Blisters branded buffs and spoon covers. Like that's like we should only have the pieces of gear that we think are the most ridiculous things.
For sure.
And that be the gear. Same with ditty bags. Like we should have a ditty bag, like line of ditty bags, Backpacking and Blisters. Things that we would never use and things that we publicly mock so we can mock the people who listen to this podcast and buy their gear.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Next one
I love Ben.
is the tent stake pusher. So this one I've bought one. I think I've lost already. And then somebody gave me, oh wait, I think I just found it actually. It's right here. It's on my desk. It's how important it was to me. It's on my desk. So this is the one that I bought. This is not the one that I brought though. Somebody 3D printed one for me. And this one like fits a specific one. And the one that I brought fits like most stakes. Doesn't fit the shepherd hook ones, but anyway, the tent stake pusher, like if you're in really rocky ground, really hard ground, whatever, like if the issue is like if you use your shoe and you have like a trail running shoe and it's really hard, like the stake can actually go through your shoe. Like that literally has happened before. If you're in an area where there's no rocks to pound that stake down, then this is the solution. So what do you think of this one?
I think this one's going to win you over.
Really?
I think it is a common enough issue that again, like maybe you'll say, "Oh, I won't go out and buy this," but I see the use case. I've felt a peg push through my shoe. I have had the issue of trying to hammer in a peg and it just bend the end. Those little Y hooks, they just bend.
Okay.
So I see some use case in this, and I think in the rocky Yosemite, I guess you're not setting up your tent in the Rocky Mountains, but you know, I gotta say, I think you tried it, and I think there's gonna be some ground that you're like, hey, this won me over.
I felt silly using it. I would not bring this. I have never had the issue of not being able to get my stakes in the ground where there's rocks everywhere. I don't know that I'm using the same stakes you are, the Y ones, but like I can definitely use a rock.
Like the little like not a triangle, but it's like a
oh,
Y.
I think I'm right. Those ones I haven't. Maybe you're just stronger than me, but like I can get those. You're just like pounding it with like a boulder. I don't know what you're doing, but I haven't had a problem with it. All I'm trying to say. So I would not bring this. That being said, the inventor of this, I do want to have on the show this summer because he does invent some really cool things. So I'm actually impressed with the idea of it, but it's also something that's going to be easily lost, like the spoon sleeve. And I'm sure if you're good about keeping it in like your steak bag, great. But I just think it's just something that's going to, I just lost it and found it right now. Like it just literally just happened. So
it is kind of pack ornamentish.
Yeah. I just think that you want, okay, I'll share one quick thing about this trip is that I had a lot of different things going on. So, for example, I was bringing all these little things that I don't normally bring, right? And then I also had like waivers that I brought. And then we were playing Jeopardy and I had the Jeopardy game board. And then I had the permit. And then I had another permit for the Half Dome. And so I had all these different things going on. And I felt like half the trip I was like searching for things and constantly losing them. And I didn't end up losing a single thing. They were always in my pack. But like we got our permit checked by a ranger and I literally could not find the permit because I was just so discombobulated with all this stuff. And so I just think this is adding to that stuff. And maybe you're better organized than me, but I was just like I don't know, kind of freaking out all the time, like looking for things.
You know what you need, Carl?
What's
Ditty
that?
Bag. That's what you need. There's the solution. Yeah.
Honestly, probably for this trip, I didn't bring that as one of the items I hate, but I probably could have used that.
Yeah.
Dude, I should have brought that. I should have brought one of Devin's bags.
Yes, one of Devin's bags.
I
That would
blew
have
it.
been
I blew it on
perfect.
this one.
Oh,
Wait, do you think if I ordered one from him, I don't know how many orders he's getting, but he noticed that it was like me that was ordering it?
Yeah, I bet you he'd reach out. He'd say something. If I ordered one from him, he'd probably like comment and be, yeah, I think he'd see it. Yeah.
All right. I just didn't know if there's like orders coming in so frequently. He's just like print the label, stick it on the bag. Go.
He'd probably write like a little love letter in there and like put it in the ditty bag as like
not a love letter.
Well,
maybe a sticker.
Like
maybe give me a sticker.
A happy trails, Carl, from Devin. I could see him doing that.
Okay. He probably says that to everybody. Our last one I got is so we had to bring bear canisters for this trip. So I gave my daughter the brand new one that came out with Bearvault, and I brought the old black one. This one actually kind of wasn't by choice. I have a better one that I couldn't find, which is weird because they're really like hard to lose. I think it was one of those times when I like lent it to somebody and never got it back. So I brought the like bear canister. You need like the coin to turn the little things. Yeah, I think that these things are useless in general. Like,
one sec, I have to give my input before you say anything. So Carl hates this. Period. Done. So yeah, spoiler alert.
Yeah. So I know that I think you've got a better system up in Canada, but basically where we stayed in a very populated area and they had bear boxes installed there, so we didn't need them there in the first place. And then one night we stayed in a not populated area where the bears don't go. So
what do you mean by the bears don't go? Like you just 100% guarantee bears don't go there?
You can never guarantee, but I've just been in Yosemite enough times where you know, like if it's an area where a lot of people are camping, that's where the bears gravitate towards. If it's like a less popular, less visited zone, I've never seen bears in those types of zones.
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, so, I guess I can't speak for that. Look, we just have bears everywhere here.
Anyway, I'll probably end up bringing it again because it'll be required somewhere, but all that to say, I'm going to tell you the item that I hated the most and still hate the most. That's going to be the Summit Answer. So the Summit Answer of this episode is brought to you by Summit Something. I brought a stack of Summit flags to Yosemite for the Half Dome Summit. Everyone loved them. We took a bunch of pictures with them, and others wanted to use them when we were up there. These flags were truly a hit, and one is now on my daughter's wall at home. I obviously got one right here behind me. Check out Summit Something's flags at summitsomething.com. If you're looking for a sign, this is it.
I just want to say, I just went on a trip and I wished I had a Summit Something. It was, we were summiting a mountain here in Canada. I don't know if they just do anything. And I literally was at the top and literally said, I wish we had a Summit flag for this. It would have been a great memorial thing. So anyways,
I think you should.
Yeah, well, it's probably.
Because I think they do custom ones. Like one of the guys on the trip is taking like some high school kids out and they're doing like a series of summits that's in the northeast part of the United States.
A little mountain in the Canadian Rockies?
I'm telling you that they didn't have flags for the ones he's planning on doing. So he reached out to them and they're like, oh yeah, send us pictures and we'll make them. Like they'll make custom flags. And so he's doing that. So you could do that too.
I should have done that. Me and my wife went up. It was her 30th birthday and I had cheese fondue at the top of the mountain. And I thought, how great would it be for a picture of us with a Summit Something flag? Anyways, enough said.
All right. Well, I appreciate you supporting the Summit Something.
I thought it was
that
good.
being said, so what of all the things we just talked about, what is my Summit answer, Jesse? What's the piece of gear that I hate the most, and I still hate the most?
Bear canister, 100%.
Correct.
Yep.
Ding, ding, ding. Yeah.
Yep.
So don't like that thing. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I've got dumb gear trivia coming up right after this.
With the the new My Lowe's Pro Rewards American Express card. Earn 3 points per dollar spent on Lowe's qualifying purchases for the first 6 months after card account opening. Plus, save 5% every day on eligible purchases at Lowe's and earn points on eligible purchases everywhere else Amex is accepted. Card members get more at Lowe's. Subject to credit approval. 5% can't be combined with any other offer. Exclusions and restrictions apply. Points subject to loyalty terms at Lowe's.com/terms and credit reward terms at Synchrony.com/MLPRA-terms. Visit Lowe's.com/business credit.
What you think of my new saddle, Lizard?
Oh yeah, it's swell, mate. Proper comfy.
Just one of the upgrades I've added to this puppy.
What else have you got on it?
New air intake filter, quick shifter, and a beefy muffler.
Well, that's why you ride with Geico Motorcycle Insurance, so you can cover your custom parts and equipment. Now let's hear that muffler purr.
All right, hang on tight to my love handles.
It feels good to ride with help. It feels good to Geico.
Dumb Gear Trivia is brought to you by Magnet Designs, makers of the gear that is not dumb. I brought the 4-ounce Bend Alpha 90 hoodie on my last 2 trips, and it's coming again next month. It's an ultralight layer that checks a lot of boxes. I wear it in the evening, overnight, and in the morning. Check it out by Googling Magnet Designs. All right, Jesse, Dumb Gear Trivia. So I'm going to tell you all your answer choices up front, and then I'm going to give you the scenarios here. So each answer is either A, an item that's sold at a major outdoor store, B, gear that's on Garage Grown Gear, or C, doesn't exist.
A, major store.
A, sold at a major outdoor store, B, gear on Garage Grown Gear, C, doesn't exist. Okay? Number 1, the $18 zippered steak bag.
Yeah, that's going to be on Garage Grown Gear for sure.
Garage Grown Gear is correct.
Yeah.
Number 2, $11 mouthwash tablets.
Mouthwash tablets? $11. That sounds like something I could see at a big box store. I'm going to go with big box store. Final answer.
For mouthwash tablets?
Yeah.
Garage Grown Gear again.
Oh, man.
They're the kings of this.
I could see like a brand name like Colgate or Crest, you know, like Procter & Gamble, poison for your mouth.
I didn't know they existed until I was looking them up. I've heard of toothpaste tablets, not mouthwash tablets.
Do you remember those Listerine like tongue
They still have those
films?
Yeah.
They still have those?
Yeah.
That's wild. Anyways, okay, that's what I imagine.
Actually, I don't know if I still see those. I don't know if they still make them. I don't know if those are just like old from people, people have them like in their car forever.
Yeah, they're Ultralight. That's the Ultralight. That's what should be sold.
That's true. All right, number 3, $12 Toby Clean toenail cleaner. Oh, wait, no, sorry. It's a titanium toenail cleaner. That's why it's $12.
Yeah, that doesn't exist.
I
That's
give it
Carl.
away. I give it away. Dang it.
No. Toby Clean. The Toby Clean is what gave it away. That was like, hey, this is Carl branded gear right on it. Like that's yeah.
All right, I got to get more clever. So, you got 2 out of 3. You passed trivia, my friend. Well done. Well done.
Oh yeah, I got 2.
All right.
Okay.
Shout out to our new Patreon supporter, John from Massachusetts. He's a dude that has lots of experience in a variety of places, including Yosemite. Most of his trips are solo or with his wife, but he's considering coming on the Wind River Range trip, which is in early August. And just heads up there, John, that is not solo or with your wife. That is the opposite of that. That is with what I call the circus of the Patreon trip that is. And we have a lot of fun, though. Yeah. So thank you for supporting us. Joining Patreon really does keep our show going. All right, Jesse, I threw out, there's a comment from our episode on 10 Lies, the backpacking experts told you. Do you have that in front of you?
Yeah, no, I can read that. I was surprised by this. This stood out to me. It was the Thermarest claims that their pads are 20-inch wide, but that's only technically true because they are 20 inches, but only before they're inflated. After you inflate them, they're 17 inches wide, and honestly, who cares about the width of an uninflated sleeping pad?
I think that was from Denise. I didn't put her name down there. I think it was from Denise.
Have you looked into that? Is that actually true? Have you measured?
I think after this comment, I think she re-measured, and then I think it was, I don't know if it was the same pad, but what she measured was accurate. But it made me think that that's probably something we should check, because this is an easy way for these pads to get away with something, right?
I cannot, I should have checked. When I read this, I could not believe it. It was one of those moments where I was like, oh yeah, that must be true. But right. I have to go back and double check all my sleeping pads, because what a scam if every single company out there is giving the measurements of their uninflated sleeping pads. That's ridiculous, Carl.
Yeah, we should look into this for sure because where this, I mean, aside from just like you getting like scammed, like you said, the other issue is if I'm looking at a 2-person tent and I'm looking at putting 2 pads in that tent if I want to go with my wife or one of my kids, and I'm looking at which pads are going to fit, I could just set it up in my backyard, which is super annoying, or I could just look at the dimensions of the tent and be like, oh yeah, this will fit or this won't fit. But that won't work if I can't trust the dimensions.
Well, this goes back to, remember, you were making fun of me for using tape on the floor to like lay down. I did that, and I took into account the sleeping pad dimensions that I was looking at as well at the time. I was a beginning backpacker, didn't have my sleeping pad, trying to figure out what would fit and what wouldn't fit.
Right.
Now I find out they've been lying to me all this time. I feel cheated.
Well, let's revisit that thought right there. So you mentioned that you made like this like outline, square, rectangle, whatever, and then this is how you measure things out. Did you get any comments after that episode where people were like, hey, Jesse, I did that too?
No, but I don't.
No.
Okay, what's that? People, if you have ever laid out on the floor a map of a piece of gear, a backpack or something, like let me know. Like, listen, I do it with my t-shirts. I'll like put out a piece and then I'll lay there with my arms out to see if a large with the right dimensions would fit.
It drapes different. Like, who knows? That's...
Carl, I was joking. Okay. I don't do that.
Like,
come on.
It's like now you're adding on to things I got to make fun of you for. So, okay.
No, that would be ridiculous.
We'll probably follow up with this. We'll do some measurements next time I get the pads out, and we'll see how this goes. But I thought that was an interesting comment. Like something I'd never thought of before, so that kind of caught my attention.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so I got two more things. Let's talk about the Xped Dura sleeping pad, since we're talking about pads already. This is a pad that came out this year. It's not an ultralight pad. It weighs like 1.5 to 2 pounds. It's 3.5 inches thick. It's not a cheap pad. It still weighs $200, which a lot of the good pads are cost $200.
Weighs $200.
It weighs $200 too. Yeah.
Which
a lot of the pads are costing in that price range. They say it's 6.5 R value, which is a really strong R value for a sleeping pad. The first time I used it was in Canyonlands, and I just like laid down on it. And I was like, this is the warmest sleeping pad I've ever used. And I was not exaggerating. People could put their hands like near the pad and feel like the heat coming not off of me, but off of the pad itself. I was like, this is crazy warm.
It's not an electric pad.
That's what it sounds like, yeah? And maybe it's just me that I haven't had a lot of like high R value pads, but everybody else was also amazed by this. It wasn't just me. And then my daughter, who tends to sleep really cold, she like struggles with cold every trip. I was like, I'm going to bring this pad for you to Yosemite. You use this pad. And she felt like her sleeping bag was overkill because she was so warm from the pad.
Wow.
This pad's coming, man. It's coming on future trips, especially with like people that sleep cold. Like, it depends on the trip. If it's going to like dip down, I would bring it for myself, but definitely for my wife and for my daughter. So I'm going to give this a 5 out of 5 for functionality, but only a 4 out of 5 overall because it is heavy and it is expensive.
Okay. It sounds like a summer winter Canada type sleeping pad. Am I right?
I would bring this to Canada's summer winter for sure. If we're peak July, where the temperatures can get
to -5,
almost to 40 degrees Fahrenheit, I'm bringing this one.
That sounds about right. Yeah, 30 degrees. We were almost 30 degrees. Yeah,
that was the low. I'm talking about the high. All right. Yeah, have you heard of this pad, or do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, I've heard about it. Interested. Okay. I'm definitely intrigued to hear. I'm curious, durability wise, how it will stack up.
Yeah, that's true.
So definitely give us a.
It feels less flimsy than the
Neoloft,
the Nemo one, the Tensor.
Oh, the Tensor. How does it compare to the Neoloft?
I mean, it's definitely warmer than the Neoloft. I still put the Neoloft tops in terms of comfort, though. So
yeah, there you go.
That's what I use in Yosemite. But okay, and you know what? I'll let you use this one if you want to. If we go on a backpacking trip together.
Oh, another bribe. I hear. Yeah,
that's correct.
All right. We should start a running tally on the page of everything that you've bribed me with for a backpacking trip, so then I can like check them all off. So it's going to be one backpacking trip where it's just I get all this luxury gear, equipment, a free water bottle. It's amazing. I like this. Yeah, I'm just going to keep racking this up.
That's your job. You keep track of that. I'll deliver, man. Like I deliver on stuff.
Okay.
So
okay, deal.
Okay, last thing I got is our prank story from the trip where I actually got pranked.
You were pranked.
So it's not uncommon. I don't know if you have this issue, but like for our trips, whether it's Patreon or otherwise, if we're in a group and we're in an area where there's other backpackers, it is very common for other backpackers to like wander into our group and just like say, hey, can I hang out with you guys? Do you have this as well?
No, it's way more remote up here in Canada. But yeah.
It didn't actually happen in Canada, so that's fair. When we were up there,
the opposite actually happened. We got like glared down.
We actually the
family?
on our trip. But then I took a trip with my family up in Canada, and we had like a communal campfire area. So it actually did happen on that trip.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, that's true.
But, okay,
anyways,
all I had to say. So we had that happen in like our first camp spot. Somebody wandered in. He kept on wandering. Kept on coming in. Actually, like nice guy. So our second camp spot. We plopped down. A few minutes later, somebody heads on in. He's like, hey, guys, where'd you guys come from today? Like typical backpacker talk, right? He's like, something weird. Just want to let you know, like, we had like a UPS delivery out here. Somebody dropped off a package and just like asked me to check with people that were coming through here because it's supposed to be somebody who's coming through this way. So is there a Carl Mandrioli on this trip? And so he pulls out from behind me, pulls out this package right here.
Express. And
hands it to me. And now on our trip, we have people that are new and don't know that like pranks are common or whatever. And we had a YouTuber named John Conti that was on our trip. And he's looking around. He's like, what in the world is going on right now? He's like, what is happening? He's totally blown away by this. And so he's just so confused. Prediction, what's in the package, Jesse?
I have no idea. A rock. You have to carry a rock out.
This is the back of it right here.
Yeah, it's got to be it's got to be something heavy. Oh, it's a picture.
Yeah, so this is technically for both of us. So we got a plaque. We actually won an award that was delivered to us. This is Backpacking Magazine's award for the third best podcast right here.
Oh, that is amazing. Third best. I'm so proud of us.
And then, of course, they asked, do you care to guess who's above you? Which is our standard question.
And who did you guess? That's what I want.
I was like, I don't really want to say.
I love that. That's brilliant because it's valuable enough and sentimental enough. Like you love that. So you had to carry that out, which is just such a perfect prank.
At that point, it's easy. The guy that carried it in, Nathan from Wisconsin, he's the one that came up with it. He had to carry it a long stinking way, man.
Oh, so the thing is, you got to give that away on the first night. That's
what people were saying.
So that you have to carry it the rest of the way.
But it was funnier.
Oh, that is
really
brilliant.
Was funnier on the third
I think
night.
that is so smart. Such a great prank, Nathan from Wisconsin.
Yeah, that was probably my favorite prank. Yeah, for those who don't know, Backpacking Magazine doesn't really exist, and sometimes I throw it out at guests and say like, hey, you're ranked in the top 3 at something, and about 80 to 90% believe me, and then the other 10% figure it out. So Dan Durston recently was the one that figured it out.
We used to have this like award, this giant, like, and it is a brick of glass. Like it is huge. Like it is bigger than my Nalgene, like 2 Nalgenes. And now if we go backpacking, I'm going to get you a custom award that is like 10 pounds heavy, and I will carry it and I will give it to you on the first day.
First day's easy day. We're just going to go 2 miles in. Second day is 20 miles.
Yeah. Oh man, I love that is such a great. I'm so pleased with that prank.
Yeah, you're thinking of it more of like in an evil way. I was like, this is like a fun prank.
Oh yeah, very thoughtful, very kind, hilarious, funny, also brilliant, and could be used. But like, I think it's brilliant all around. Great idea, Nathan.
I thought so too. It's one of the best pranks. So good job, Nathan from Wisconsin.
Yep.
That's all I got, my friend.
Yeah. Okay. Well. Everyone, subscribe so that Carl can keep buying gear that he absolutely hates, and jump over on the Patreon so that you can help him to continue to afford it.
And remember, folks, it's hard to explain puns to kleptomaniacs because they take things literally. Have a good week and God bless.
I want to fly around the world.
Yo, B&B, it's Rock. And I am starting to pack for the July is Here trip. Here's Jennifer herself with some words.
Hey, B&B, I have a question for you, or actually a question just for Carl. But despite many hints from his wife, Rocky hasn't unpacked yet his pack from the April Canyonlands trip he did with Carl. Should he, A, just take his pack and hope for the best, or B, unpack just to repack this week?
Summer is here. At Orderly Meds, we know this time is a reminder that life is full of new beginnings. Whether you're celebrating the nice weather, starting a new chapter, planning a vacation, or simply looking ahead to what's next, This season can be the perfect time to invest in yourself and your health. If you've struggled with weight loss and are curious about GLP-1 medications, Orderly Meds can help you learn about your options. Through a simple virtual process, you can connect with licensed medical professionals who can determine whether treatment may be appropriate for you. Getting started is fast, convenient, and happens online from the comfort of home. This summer, consider a new approach to feeling your best. Visit orderlymeds.com/podcast to learn more. That's orderlymeds.com/podcast. orderlymeds.com/podcast. Because every new season is an opportunity to take the next step forward. Compounded medications are not FDA approved. Eligibility required and determined by a licensed provider. Individual results may vary. See website for details.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.